What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. So today we're going to do a deep dive into the Senior Citizens League, the study that they did last month. And let me show you this first, and then we're going to talk about this in more detail. And so in addition to the study that they did, and we'll talk a little bit more about the study later on in this video, but they also did a survey. And in that survey, 62% of the participants said that food costs is their fastest growing cost. Also, housing costs is the biggest concern of 22% of the respondents. And they took a sample size of 2,275 people, and this survey was collected up until June 6th of 2023. And so I really want to talk about this because the purchasing power of seniors has really diminished. If you started receiving Social Security back in 2000 and you're still collecting it now, you would have seen a decrease of 36% in your purchasing power. So we're going to talk about this. We're going to go into the details. I'm going to show you some more information when it comes to this, but this is very important. I'm going to tell you why it's important for people who are receiving Social Security right now, also people who will be receiving Social Security in the next 10 years. So that's what we're going to focus on in this video. But first off, you guys can do me a favor. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that little bell notification, and then click all. By clicking all, you'll get notified anytime we post a video. We do daily videos here, so by clicking the bell notification and clicking all, you should be getting updated every day. And just a reminder, thank you guys all for your support. I really appreciate it. I want to continue to say that just so you guys know that I do appreciate you as well, because I have a lot of people in the comments say they really appreciate the content that I'm putting out, but I very rarely say that I appreciate the fact that you guys are supporting me and watching the videos and sharing the videos. So I just wanted to remind you guys you are appreciated. And also, if you want to support me on Twitter, you can follow me at the TEC Show Live. Okay, so now let's take a look at some more details when it comes to Social Security and the purchasing power. Now, and I'm going to tell you the reason why this is important, because we need to address the problem before we can see a solution. Okay, so the Senior Citizens League, they did their study. We talked about this already, 36%. So if you started receiving Social Security in 2000 and you're currently still receiving Social Security, your purchasing power has dwindled by 36%. Okay, you need a $517 bump in order to get back to where you were in 2000. So the way that they look at this, and they go into some more details here, and they start showing some real numbers when it comes to the average person right now that's receiving Social Security benefits is receiving $1,827. So in order for that person to have the same purchasing power, their benefits on average would need to be $2,343 today. So that's the huge problem that we're seeing. And when we go even a step further, and we know that the 8.7%, that was the COLA for this year. However, the COLA for next year is not going to be the same. And I've been talking about this, and I'm trying to put that out there so you guys understand that COLA is not going to be 8.7%. It's probably not even going to be 3%, because the estimates right now, the senior citizens just revised their estimate, and they dropped it down to 2.7%. And so we could see it around that level. It could be even lower than that. It all depends on the CPIW, so the inflation for the wage earners. So once we get that information, and we'll be gathering that information July, August, and September, and once we have that information compiled, then I'll be able to let you know exactly what COLA is going to look like for 2024. So make sure you subscribe and hit that little bell notification. Okay, so just looking at some of the things here, and this is I really want to really focus on this. Back in 2000, if you were to purchase eggs, a dozen eggs, it was 98 cents. Today, if you were to purchase eggs, it's on average $4.21. That's a 332% increase. And so that's a major problem. When you're seeing COLA every year, people are getting the cost of living adjustment, it's not keeping up with inflation. And because it's not keeping up with inflation, you can no longer buy what you bought back in 2000. And so that's a major problem. Okay, now let's look further here, because they talk about some of the other areas. Prescription medication up 300% since 2000. And that's a major problem, because if you're a senior, you're probably purchasing more prescription medication, and you might say, you know what, I don't have to pay that much. All I have to pay is $15, and then the Medicare will cover the rest, or my insurance company will cover the rest. However, that insurance company is picking up the cost, and that cost is passed on to the consumer. So even though you think, oh, well, I only have to pay this $15, you might have to pay more when it comes to a deductible. Or we might see Medicare actually face financial difficulties sooner than 2031, where that's the estimate. They'll be insolvent by 2031. So something else that we need to pay attention to, it's not just the fact that, well, you're saying, well, I only have to pay $15, but that money has to come from somewhere. So if we see that 300% increase, it's coming from somewhere. And that's why there's a lot of talk about prescription medication and having Medicare be able to negotiate directly with these pharmaceutical companies, because they're trying to save money, because we know that there's a huge problem out there when it comes to prescription medication. All you need to do is travel to another country. If you travel to another country, you're going to see the problem with prescription medication in the U.S. compared to other countries. It's a lot less to buy the same prescription medication in other countries than it is in the U.S., and that shouldn't be the case. And a lot of this medication is made in the U.S., and that's what's even crazy. It's made in the U.S. It costs you more to buy it in the U.S. than if you were to go to another country and buy it. So I just find that really sad when it comes to we're paying more. Now, looking at some of the other categories here, this is 150% increase since 2000. And so dental service, heating oil, Medicare Part B premiums, gasoline, propane, and medical and veterinarian care. These are all things that have increased more than 150% since 2000. So major problem here. Now, why are we talking about this? Why are we focused on this? Why am I putting this information out? Because in order for there to be change, you have to recognize that there's a problem. And so that's what we're trying to focus on. We're trying to recognize, look, this is a problem. Right now, they're talking about Social Security reform. Right now, you have some politicians talking about an increase for Social Security benefits. You have some politicians that are not talking about an increase, and they're actually talking about cutting Social Security. Now is the time to focus on this, because we're in a situation, if we don't focus on this, when they decide to create a bill and pass a bill through Congress, it might not be what people on Social Security benefits need. They might need more. And so that's why it's time to focus on this. And so the process would be, first we need to recognize, and then we need to create, as far as I say we, but it's going to be the lawmakers. The lawmakers will need to create a bill, and then they're going to need to pass a bill. But it's going to be up to the American people to say, look, this is where we are right now. This is what we're struggling with. We're struggling with the cost of food. We're struggling with the cost of shelter. We're struggling with all these different things. And your representatives who should be representing you, they don't always do that, but these lawmakers that should be representing you will hopefully realize we need to create a bill that will be sufficient for people that are receiving Social Security benefits, as well as those people who are close to the age where they're going to start collecting Social Security benefits. And so that's where we are. That's why I like to talk about this stuff. I like to put this information out there to you guys. And if I can help you understand that this is a huge problem, and you guys already know that because there are a lot of people that are struggling. In the comments, you guys let me know all the time that you're struggling. But in order for it to move forward, that voice needs to get out. You can't just say I'm struggling and not, if the politicians don't know about it, if the lawmakers don't know about it, they're just going to pass whatever they want to pass. But if they start to see, okay, this is a problem, and that's why the Senior Citizens League, that's why they did the study, that's why they're doing the surveys. You have all these other organizations that are doing the same thing because they're trying to sound the alarm. Look, something needs to happen. Something needs to change, and it needs to change sooner than later. So I want to know what you guys think about all this. Let me know down below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.